Welcome. Here is today's DMR for Sunday into Monday, 3/29. Now we're looking at EURUSD on the 5-minute. I'm going to do a little markup as we wait for the prime window to open. So I do see a channel closing from Friday here where price interacted with the 50. So I'm going to mark that one off. And then there's a little pin to the high here. So this tells me we're most likely looking for shorts. I'm going to mark that one off, and I'm going to mark the high. And if that high holds, then I am even more confirmed for shorts. Okay, so Asia is open, and that channel is 27 pips off the high. So if it comes back into that channel, that's a perfect entry for a short. Okay, we are in our prime window now. I see I have a pop out here already. So pop out high, I'm going to mark that one. And then price continued to go higher in Asia session, but it stayed flat in TDI, telling me that this is all divergent. This is all a trap move, which is confirming my short. Now I'm just waiting for the entry. I see it came right up to this high, and this high held. Now I am in my prime window. I'm above my channel that we made because price interacted here with the 50. And I got my second green red cross within my prime window. That is here. So my entry is there. We're going to place the short entry here on the 5-minute. Let's take our 30 pips, and stop level is 150 or 15 pips. And that is the trade for the day. Let's crank it up and see how it turns out. And there you go. You hit profit. Okay, that one was a very simple Sunday going into Monday entry. So let's label what we saw. So we are 30 pips off the open of Asia. We had our trap high. Yesterday's or Friday's closing held. So this confirmed our short. It went just above that little pin. You had this beautiful M formation that vertexed through the 50 here. We had a nice green-red cross here. This one here was the first entry that we marked. This one here, this green-red cross on this side, would have been your later entry. Either one would have worked. There, you had 2 entry points within the prime window. Excellent, perfect, clean trade. Great way to start a week. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Monday, 3:30, looking at EURUSD on the 5-minute. Here we are at our days open, and we are already here right at the 50. So I'm going to paint my channel. And now, yesterday we opened with a short move, came up, went cleanly into the channel. So I'm expecting this low to be the low and to hold. It is labeled here with my previous day's low. And now we are going to wait for our Asia session to open, and then our prime window session to open before we make any trade decisions. But right here, I am thinking that it is going to be longs for the day based on these pins to the low and this completion, this full cycle completion back into a beautiful channel from yesterday. Okay, this looks like a trap move high. Now, some of you might want to jump in here on this one, but you can see that when it moves really fast like this with no shorts in between, as in no pullbacks, that's usually the trap move. And you can see they're pulling it all back right now. So you could have entered and gotten some pips here, but that is not the clean entry. This is the trap move. So your best bet is just to hold off and wait for the actual entry. There is a clean entry right here, actually, but you would have had to have gotten it right there because, like I said, this thing will most likely pull back as you can see it doing, and you would have just lost all that profit that you made. All right, prime window is opening now. And since I do have the trap for the high, I am confirmed that I am looking for longs here. So I'm looking for a green-red cross here in TDI. Let's pause here. So I already have my pop out. I'm going to put a little shark here. And then I see how this low here goes down, but in TDI, it goes up. So that shows me this is divergent, just like that, which means price is already moving up. Of course, it did, and it completed the trap. But that is another confirmation here that it'll be a buy trade for today. Okay, we've got another pop out to the low on another trap. So these two pop outs low, these sharks, where I put them here, are confirming for me that they are pushing price down, but there's no follow through. Okay, so that's confirming that they are trying to trap people going short. And let's see, prime window has closed just now, and it's come back and hit the top of this channel and rejected. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my long. I would have liked to see a little more movement by now, but it looks like the entry was supposed to be back here at the first time it hit this channel and rejected. So we're going to put in our 30 pips profit and 15 pips stop loss, gives us a 2-to-1. And that is our trade entry for the day. Let's see how it plays out. And there you go. You are in profit. Congrats. That was a super, super clean entry for the day. All right, there you go. There is your perfect entry for trade day Monday, 3:30 for EURUSD. Here we are Tuesday, 3:31. Now we are in the second trade day for the week. We already had a beautiful trap move on Sunday and our first leg up on Monday. So I'm looking for another long today to continue this trend. Asia is open, and there we go. First closeout to the 50. I'm going to go ahead and draw this channel here. Okay, there goes the trap move below the 50. It looks like the move is actually going to come in early. So the entry would have been here, but it's not in our prime window or our prime trade window. So I am confirmed for going long at this point because this is the trap move below the 50. And all right, prime window is open. And there is my W. It came really fast, and we are still below the 50. That's okay. We do have this beautiful W through the 50. W right there, still forming out, but it vertexed through the 50, confirming my long move for the day. So I'm going to enter my long at this green-red cross right there. There is my position for the day. This is my second day into the trap move of the week. So this might not get a full 30 pips. I would be watching for this one to flip around sometime within the session, but let's see if there's 30 pips available here. We also had our pop outs, and there we go. Nice expansion pop out here. Retrace back to the channel, just like I'd expect. And there we go. Congratulations. You hit profit before the prime window was even closed. That was a very, very quick trade day. We'll turn it up and see how the rest of the move plays out. All right, there you go. Very easy trade day. So let's look at one more thing before we close this one out. This dotted line here is a previous 4-hour pop out. You can see how price just came in and just stayed right around it and retested this line. Then also this bigger one is a previous day pop out, and you can see it acted as the low for the day. So these pop out lines are very significant, and price does come back and play with them and use them as support and resistance as you go. All right, there it is, your most clean entry for Tuesday, 3/31. Grab a screenshot of this and add it to your entries for your trade collection. If you like this simple style of trading, consider joining the Trade Tribe with us and learn how to trade like I trade. We trade structure, we let the dealers show their hands, and we take entries in a 2.5 to 3 hour window. We trade very simply. We do not stay at the computer all day. We take 30 pips and we leave, and we compound our accounts. It is very safe, very profitable, and builds confidence very quickly. So I hope you consider joining the Trade Tribe. Check out the link in my bio. Or just follow along here. I do teach quite a bit for free on the channel. All right, here we are on Wednesday, 4/1, and we close right at the 50. So let's draw our 50 channel as we wait for our trade window to open. So right away, I see that price is already pushing up high in the V band here after a low. So this is the closing low from yesterday. All right, Asia is open, and ooh, big move already in Asia. So when we saw this riding high early on in the session, this looks like this was the trap move above the 50, and that we are getting our move right now. Prime window is open. Price has already moved quite a bit today. So from the high to the prime window, we're already at 71 pips. So right away, this would be a no trade day according to 3x30 rules, because we are looking for anywhere from 10 to 30 pips. In this case, the 10 to 30 pips pullback happened here at 18 pips. This was the trap move for this move going down. Since it has already moved 70 pips, that is the move for the day. So it did happen early in Asia. So now that I know, I'm either going to be looking for a continuation or a reversal. Now we do have our pop out low, and then price was going up in TDI and down in reality. So this tells me this is divergent, and that tells me that there is a reversal opportunity. So I want to see that it rejects a low and stays within the band. So if you come down to TDI here, you can see there was a pop out low, divergence, and then it stayed within the band and gave us a W here. So this is not a beginner trade. This is a reversal trade. The hard thing about reversals is that you got to make sure that they are completely done blowing off. See, there's another blow off there. You take the reversal. So for those learning reversals, there is a little channel here. This is actually the start of the next one. So you can count 1, 2, 3 to the low after the closing channel. And this is specific only to reversals, okay? This is not a normal 3x30 trade. So 1, 2, 3 to the low. There's your green red cross W at the 70. This is where you would take your long position. 300 pip profit, 15 pip stop loss, and let's see how this one plays out. You have a nice expansion pop out here, and it stays above this gold line in TDI, and we're just waiting for it to break over that 50. So this one would have been quite early, but it should still hold, and this is why we keep a 15 pip stop loss, by the way, because I don't like to be up all night. I mean, this is 1 o'clock in the morning my time. I do not want to stay up and wait for this entry. I'd rather just make a bigger stop loss and get my sleep. Okay, so this is signaling shorts to everybody. This is all trapping, getting people to second guess their entry and to go in short. But you see, we have already reclaimed the 50 here. There we go. You would have hit profit on a big candle all the way through. If you stayed in this one, you would have waited through all of this. Time would have gotten you. Could have second guessed yourself, but it sure did pay off. As soon as it came over the 50, did stay under the opening channel, got this nice W at the 50, but it did come and you were in profit. So if you read this one, good job. This would have been a very difficult one. Reversals are not easy, and patience pays off on them. There you are, your most perfect entry for Wednesday. Take a picture and add it to your trade log. And we'll see you tomorrow. Happy trading. New trade day beginning, and we are opening at the 50. Let's draw our opening 50 channel, and that is where price is just interacting here with the 50 EMA at the open. What are we looking for today? So we had a long move yesterday and on a pin high here the day prior. Okay, this looks like a trap high, so I might be looking for shorts today. Price opens at the 50. Looks like this is doing a little trap high, okay, above the 50 as Asia opens. It's small. Let me zoom in here. So we already have 3 pushes low with some momentum. That could be a false entry long as we come into our prime window and pop out high. I'm getting ready as it crosses back in. There we go. All right, so this already did pop out high here, but I want to wait for one more at least. And yeah, this is still going up. And see how the green line is still pointing up? So in our prime window here, this would have been a no trade day because I am looking for shorts. According to this move here, this trap move high from the day before, I'm looking for shorts. But in the trade window, I'm only seeing a long entry right here. Okay, and it's not really even a true long entry because it's just the nuance of it didn't set up right, but that's too much for this video. So I do not see a short entry in the prime window. Like this is very much still pointing up. So it's a little bit too much momentum long to be entering a short right there. So this is not the entry for the short. Okay, it would have been really early. This is actually closer to the entry up here. I know it's not in the prime window. So like I said, today, according to our 3x30 rules, would have been a no trade day because there was no short entry in our prime window. The real true entry would have been here, the safest entry. But that's one thing I do love about our the numbers, the stop loss numbers that we chose at 15, because even if you do make a mistake and you place an entry, your stop loss is typically protected. And this one would have been a test of your patience too, because it did stay above the 50 and above this 50 channel for a few hours. So really testing your patience. So here is that trap move confirming that this one is a short for today. And I know it looks long. That's the beauty of a trap move. But you can see how in TDI, this is now pointing down, confirming that it is a short. And there you go. First move short. You see how TDI here is already drifting down as price is staying solid. So that means that price is actually closing lower. And of course, the market reacted as it closed past the 50. And now it's just going to walk its way down for the rest of the day. Let's put this on fast forward and see how it plays out. So there we go. So you would have hit profit late into the day. If you would have taken this in the prime window in here, you might not have hit the 30 pips. So do not be afraid to sit on your hands. Okay. If it's a no trade day, do not force the trade because yes, your stop loss would have been safe, but you would not have taken your 30. All right. So just trust if it's a no trade day, it's a no trade day. Go live life. That's the whole point of doing this anyways. All right. You don't need to take 3 days a week in order to hit our goal. Do not force trades. That is it for Friday, April 2nd. Take a picture. There is your most perfect setup, which is a no setup, no trade day. Sit on your hands day, go and have fun. But if you are a renegade and you wanted to still play along and were willing to stay up late, you did get your 30 pips just barely. But as you guys know, I don't like cowboy trades. So let's keep it safe, keep our money, because every win gets you closer to your goal. If you like this style of trading, consider joining us and learning how to trade this way in the Trade Tribe HQ, or just follow along. I do teach you a bunch just right here. All right, happy trading.